Buddha sat beneath the ancient Bodhi tree, his serene presence drawing disciples closer with reverence and curiosity. The grove was silent, except for the soft rustle of leaves and the distant call of birds. Without a word, the Buddha closed his eyes, immersing himself in silence, allowing tranquility to envelop the group like mist. Minutes passed, and the disciples grew restless, questioning the lesson's purpose as they exchanged uncertain glances with one another. Long ago, in a distant land, there lived a peacock whose feathers shimmered with golden brilliance. Buddha began. The disciples leaned forward, their attention fully captured by his words, their minds open to the unfolding lesson. The wind whispers to the leaves, and the river murmurs as it flows. Silence embraces the world as its cradle. Ananda leaned forward, his curiosity piqued. Master, how do we uncover the silence within ourselves? It feels elusive, hidden behind thoughts and noise. The lotus thrives despite the pond's turbulence. It draws strength from roots anchored firmly within the earth, the Buddha explained. Her wings remained folded, and her days grew heavy. Lost in endless comparisons and despair, Buddha said solemnly. One evening, a storm swept through the land, shaking the trees and scattering the creatures. Buddha shared gently. The disciples began to meditate, striving to find the stillness the Buddha described, their focus wavering as thoughts danced in. Young Rahula, seated at the edge of the group, struggled most of all, his mind like waves crashing against a shore. But Master, noise pulls my attention away. The Buddha pointed again to the pond. If I shake this bowl, ripples appear and distort its reflection. When undisturbed, it becomes serene and mirrors the sky. The sparrow returned to her perch, singing once more as the winds carried her melodies across the grove. Buddha concluded. The sparrow realized her worth lay not in comparison but in embracing her unique gifts and joys. Buddha declared, do not demand stillness from your mind, Rahula, the Buddha said, but allow it to settle naturally as the water does. Rahula nodded, his understanding beginning to take root, a fragile seed planted deep in the fertile soil of his contemplation. True contentment arises not from measuring against others but from cherishing what is within us. Buddha taught, even the most radiant beauty fades with time, but inner peace and wisdom endure eternally. Buddha shared thoughtfully. The town's clamor continued, yet it felt distant from our shared tranquility. Begin by observing noise without judgment, the Buddha continued. Impermanence teaches us to seek meaning beyond fleeting appearances and external validation. Buddha said, embrace your journey, focusing on what nurtures your spirit rather than envying what lies outside. Buddha advised. The world offers distractions that pull our minds into comparisons, but wisdom helps us find clarity. Buddha guided, as you walk the path, remember that comparison clouds the vision and dims the light of your soul. Buddha warned. His disciples listened with rapt attention, the weight of his words pressing gently upon their hearts. Buddha said, contentment comes from accepting the ever-changing nature of life and finding joy in its gifts. The sparrow found solace in her songs because she accepted herself as she was. Free from envy, Buddha revealed, our hearts sing best when unhindered by the heavy chains of comparison. Buddha taught with a soft smile. Let the tale remind you that every being has a unique melody within. Buddha said. He added, to hear your own melody, silence the noise of envy and listen to the harmony of your essence. The grove remained quiet, but the disciples' minds were alive with reflection and understanding. Buddha's words lingered in the air, timeless and woven with the truth of human experience. The disciples bowed deeply, expressing their gratitude for the wisdom Buddha imparted. Buddha said, may you find peace and harmony by embracing the truth in your heart and the beauty of impermanence. The bell, Master, its sound is pure, distinct above the noise, I replied, my ears keen to its clarity. He struck the bell again, softer this time. And now? He queried, his eyes steady, observing me closely. He turned to his disciples, his gaze steady, and spoke with a voice full of wisdom and grace. In a land far from here, there lived a young prince who admired his reflection each day. Buddha began. The crowd bustled, their voices merging into a symphony of human activity. Buddha observed the chaos with calm silence. But one day, he saw another reflection, of a prince with even finer garments and a grander presence. Buddha continued. Envy stirred within his heart, and he resolved to outshine this prince. A shadow in his own mind, Buddha shared. The young prince demanded his servants bring him finer clothes, jewels, and adornments to surpass the imagined rival. Buddha explained, no matter how splendid his garments. The reflection in the pond revealed another prince surpassing him. Buddha described. The fisherman stepped forward, raising his hand in frustration. Buddha raised his hand slightly, signaling pause without words. One day, in frustration, the prince broke his mirror. Hoping to rid himself of the haunting reflection, Buddha revealed. He then looked into the pond. Seeing his own unclothed face, radiant with natural beauty, Buddha shared softly. The merchant, too, stood still, curiosity replacing frustration. Buddha's voice emerged like a gentle breeze. What binds you both to anger? What clouds your peace with such discontent? The fisherman grumbled. He has deceived me, Master. Envy blinds us to the truth of our own worth, distorting reality with shadows of imagined competition. Buddha said, to break free, one must look beyond the surface and nurture the light within. Untouched by comparisons, Buddha taught. His disciples nodded, their hearts touched by the timeless wisdom woven into the tale of the prince. Contentment arises when we accept ourselves fully, finding beauty in the simplicity of our authentic being, Buddha advised. Buddha motioned them closer, his voice soothing. Step beyond this conflict. Anger blinds wisdom, yet silence nurtures compassion and clarity. The disciples listened intently, their curiosity deepened by Buddha's composed approach. The crowd's murmurs softened, observing this profound interaction. Do not let the desire to outshine others dim the light of your own spirit, Buddha counseled. Each of you holds a unique brilliance, untouched by the opinions or comparisons of the world, Buddha assured. His disciples bowed, their hearts moved by the simple yet profound truths Buddha shared beneath the banyan tree. The pond shimmered in the fading light, a mirror for the disciples' thoughts and the lessons they carried. The merchant nodded in agreement, his tone humbled. Master, greed blinds fairness. Silence unveils what words distort. I wish to learn. Buddha's serene expression reflected peace. Compassion within silence heals. The disciples assembled quietly, their anticipation palpable, eager to hear the wisdom that would guide their paths forward. Buddha's eyes radiated calm as he began to speak, his voice carrying the weight of universal truths with simplicity. The two men bowed before Buddha, their expressions softened, their anger and greed replaced by humility and gratitude. Turning to the disciples, Buddha said, compassion flows not always through speech but through presence. Passers-by whispered among themselves, longing for a lantern of equal splendor to brighten their own homes. Buddha explained. The merchant walked with patience, unfazed by the voices of envy that swirled around him in the market. Buddha narrated. Buddha led the group onward, the river's flow mirroring the rhythm of compassion, guiding their path deeper into wisdom. As the disciples meditated by the river, they pondered Buddha's lesson. Silence became their tool to foster healing. One disciple, Subhuti, approached Buddha hesitantly, seeking clarity. Master, how can silence alone transform anger and conflict? I yearn to understand. Buddha paused, allowing the disciples to absorb the imagery of the merchant and his enigmatic lantern. The traveler hesitated, pondering whether the effort to find and nurture the flower was worth the radiant light. Buddha added, anger feels strong. How does silence overcome anger's force without appearing weak? Buddha smiled gently. True strength flows from stillness. Anger consumes energy, but silence restores. Weakness lies in resistance, not acceptance. Envy arises from seeing the glow of others without understanding the journey that fuels their light. Buddha stated, true brilliance is not borrowed or imitated. It is cultivated through effort, patience, and sincere intention. Buddha taught. Buddha's disciples began practicing silent compassion daily. The bustling city transformed into a canvas for their quiet, mindful presence. The fisherman returned to the market. His demeanor changed. His interactions reflective of peace gained from Buddha's silent teachings. The merchant began offering fair prices, his greed tempered by humility. The light you seek cannot be stolen or copied. It must be grown within you through acts of kindness and effort. Buddha said, the forest where the flower blooms is the inner self, and the nurturing is your practice of compassion and mindfulness. Buddha shared. His teachings transcended words, resonating universally through action and presence. Disciples observed their progress, their silent compassion fostering unity and understanding, reaching hearts untouched by verbal persuasion. Instead, focus on what you can cultivate, the seeds you can plant, and the oil you can distill. Buddha encouraged. Buddha gestured to the disciples, their faces reflecting the weight of his words and the clarity they brought. The merchant's journey is your journey. The flower his nurtured blooms within you when you embrace life's lessons fully. Buddha said, do not covet the lanterns of others, for they will never illuminate your path as your light can. Buddha advised. Your brilliance, though different in hue and glow, holds equal value in the tapestry of existence. Buddha assured. The banyan tree's shade enveloped the group as the disciples bowed, their gratitude deep and their understanding profound. Buddha concluded, may you find the rare flower within and nurture it, that your light may shine true and unwavering, illuminate your own path, and in doing so, guide others with a lantern born of compassion and wisdom. Buddha said. With this, the disciples dispersed, carrying the light of Buddha's teachings within their hearts and actions. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.